lucky enough to work with Cogito for a year now, so I think we've got some pretty good insights to share with you today, and looking forward to some of the questions. So.
I was looking for something real time. And so that was the key differentiator. When you have millions of calls where every one of them is being coached for EX and CX, it's pretty powerful to me, right? And someone who looks at it across thousands of agents, across sites, it's important to get that holistic view that is accurate.
The thing that impressed me the most about the Cogito team is they always made themselves available. And when we had suggestions, they didn't dismiss it as, oh no, that's just how the product works. They went back and they actually made real changes based on some of our suggestions. I can honestly say, 25 years in the industry, this is the best group that I've worked with from an implementation standpoint.
What was interesting was that then we went into sales too, where the calls are different, right? The reservation calls are different, member service desk calls are different. And then Cogito had to create, like you guys did some tweaks and stuff, so that it's different between a sales environment versus a service environment. I like the way that you can go across these different verticals with the product, and that's important because if you put one product, it's not going to work for both sales and service. They're going to have a different, within that environment, a different instance of a coach.
We are all about customer service, so the CX score was a blessing for us. One of the casualties of COVID for us was our QA team, right? You have to make difficult decisions and you needed people to take calls, so when cuts came, they went. So we had this gap, and the Cogito product filled that for us. So now 100% of the calls are being looked at. You can do a quick scan, you can find the ones that maybe weren't going well or the ones that went really well. And this isn't all about punitive. There's a lot of congratulations that goes on with the product as well, which the techs are really liking, right? So supervisors are happy because they're getting that kind of virtual floor walk in, and the techs are happy because they're getting more feedback now. That's real feedback, not a month old, because they're having their one-on-one with the stats a month later, right? So they're really pleased.
If you recorded the call and gave a quality score or feedback after the fact to the agent, sure, they can improve their delivery for the next call, but there's a lot of risk to that recovery.
While they're on the call, they're getting pop-ups to say you're speaking too quickly, or hey, nice job. When the call's done, they can go back in if they want, and they can review the call themselves. So if they know that something went wrong on the call and they think, hey, what could I have done differently, they're able to go in and see a CX score, as well as have a look at the call. And then the same with the supervisor, right? So the supervisor can go in, and there's a transcript. So we all remember that. I don't know how many people here have had to QA calls in the past lives, but I've had to do it, and it was painful. Listen to the whole call. So before Cogito, I would get an escalation, and I would go in, and our average handle time is 14 minutes. So I would get an escalation, and they would say, the franchisee said that at some point the person was rude to them. I'm like, oh, at some point, okay, flag. And maybe it happened at minute 13. This way I go in and look at the transcript.
It tells you where it is.
It tells you exactly where it is. The interesting thing when we rolled out Cogito was we found that our training was lacking in a few areas. We weren't really covering empathy. When we rolled Cogito, we actually rolled out a whole, supplemented our new hire training and put our existing techs through empathy training because our empathy scores were not where we wanted them to be. And so we have implemented into our onboarding process.
We never had tools in the contact center that can drive quality and consistency until Cogito and these tools came out. Because now, no matter which site, which location globally, we can now influence quality and consistency across a journey that goes into the contact center that is important for loyalty programs to sales agents, right? Having 2,000 plus agents, right, that just deal with sales. Having everyone give the same experience to the end user is so important. And how do you do it? These are the tools you can empower your agents with to drive quality and consistency, especially large contact centers with thousands of agents. That's when these kind of tools come in, and that helps us drive the value. We've seen our conversion rates go up, right? Our average handle times go down, and those are the financial metrics that offsets the cost.